Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I am Office Bloke Dave.
Office Bloke Daz.
I'm having some trouble talking today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. How are you doing today, Mike? £1.50. There you go, you heard it here first, £1.50.
£1.50, patreon.com.
£1.50.
Office Blokes Reacts.
Have you heard about
the bird?
The bird is the word.
I think so.
Have you heard about these wildfires in Canada?
I have, and I've seen the devastation it's causing in the air quality in like places like New York City. I watched the time lapse actually of New York City yesterday.
Yeah.
Where it sort of like went from kind of like looks a bit misty and then it just went fucking orange.
Wow.
And I thought, Donald Trump's in town.
Hey. I presume the air quality is not the best in New York City anyway, with it being so built up.
No, probably not. But I think when you've got these on top of it, then it's, I think it's toxic air. They're saying, aren't they?
Jesus.
Sort of thing. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's about as much as I know about it.
Yeah.
And I know the Formula One weekend might be postponed because it's in Montreal.
And
these fires are in Quebec, aren't they?
I don't know much about the fires, to be honest. I've just heard about the fact that the New York air quality's gone bad and everything's gone orange.
Yeah, I try and keep my eye on world news always anyway, see what's going on around the world, because I'm interested in things like that.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like thing that I saw it and I didn't think much of it at first, and then when I saw the air quality I was like, hang on a minute, how bad are these fires?
Yeah.
Sort of thing, and it looks...
it's mad the effect it can have, isn't it? Let's get into it then. We're going to check out health warning as smoke from Canadian wildfires. Told you I can't speak today. Wildfire reaches East Coast. Let's do it.
The dangerous air quality for millions of Americans. 13 states are on alert as we deal with that wildfire smoke from Canada. We're going to be tracking where it's headed and what it means for our health. But first, Trevor Ault starts us off in New Jersey. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. It is going to be an alarmingly hazy day for tens of millions of Americans. What's usually a gorgeous view from this vantage point of Manhattan is completely shrouded in all of this smoke. And New York City right now has some of the worst air quality of any major city in the world. And the smoke stretches so far that even Detroit is also up near the top of the list. All of this, the remnants of hundreds of Canadian wildfires that continues to drift further into the United States. This morning, wildfire smoke blanketing the skies for millions of Americans.
There's the red sun again.
National Weather Service issuing air quality alerts all over the Northeast, stretching west to Ohio and even as far south as the Carolinas and Georgia.
It's very strange.
Crazy.
I got up out of the subway and it looked like a zombie apocalypse.
Overnight, New York City's air quality registering as the worst of any major city worldwide.
It's kind of got a yellowy haze to it.
Millions of phones getting alerts like these. The city's air quality index peaking above 200, a level considered very unhealthy, particularly for the elderly and those with respiratory issues.
You smell it and feel it, yeah.
The immediate health risks are worsening of asthma and worsening of allergies. This is actually probably the worst I've seen the numbers.
Sports, recess, and outside play canceled for millions of children across the region.
I woke up this morning and went outside, and it was very strange and just sort of an eerie feeling.
Officials say the cause, wildfires in Canada. Over 10,000 miles of Canadian land has been scorched so far this fire season, an area larger than the state of Vermont. With 26,000 people evacuating from their homes.
Across the country, there are currently 413 wildfires burning, and 249 of those fires are deemed out of control.
And of course, all this smoke contains...
It's mind-boggling, isn't it, to think that fire season, that happens every year.
Well, yeah.
To a degree. I know it's worse.
Yeah, no, I was reading the other day about the weather, and there's this weather phenomenon called El Nino, which is it's happened in the past.
Yeah.
I remember it was in the USA, I think, when it happened. But they're saying it's been bubbling in the Pacific for a while, and they reckon it's going to take effect very soon, and it has. So it happened, I think, 2 days ago or something like that.
Right.
And they're saying like the amount it's going to cause of like droughts in Australia and the monsoon season in India, and I was just reading about it, I was like, oh my god, it's going to take I think it's going to drop or increase the global temperature by 1.5 degrees, something like that. They were saying, and it just when you think about one weather effect, what it might have, and the dry conditions. I mean, we've not had rain for 2 weeks here.
Yeah, no. I've
no rain whatsoever.
Before work today, I was out with the hose pipe water in my whole garden.
Yeah, because there's going to be a ban soon.
There probably will be.
They'll introduce a ban very soon about if it carries on.
I was just thinking, like, last year I was in the habit of watering the garden every morning because it was dry we got to 40 degrees at one point. And I'm like, this has crept up on us a little bit, and we've literally not had rain for ages.
It's not been massively hot, especially in the evenings. It's been quite chilly in the evenings, but we've not had any rain. But this weekend is going to be like 30 degrees. It's going to be quite hot this weekend.
Yeah,
which is what's like, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's probably about,
it's 90s, isn't it?
90s, yeah.
I think, yeah. It's just mind-boggling. And you think about the things that have happened in the past few years, like pre-pandemic, it was the Australian wildfires. You've had the Pakistan floods. Obviously, there's the hurricane season every year, but there seems to be a lot of tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff. I don't know if we just see more of them because we react to that type of content.
And global news is a bit more accessible now as well. But I think it's just, I'm fascinated by the weather anyway.
Yeah,
it's meteorology is something that's always like been a great of interest to me watching it. And I just look at it now and I think some amazing footage coming across. This is incredible.
When you think of how vast that smoke is actually. Yeah. The states it's covering, New York to Ohio.
South Carolina, did you say, or North Carolina?
It was one of the Carolinas,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Crazy.
Massive.
Very tiny particles that can get into your lungs and even into your bloodstream. And while it's not an immediate gross concern for the general public, experts do say if you're trying to protect yourself, we all have masks now, you would need a respirator-grade mask, stronger than an N95 to...
They don't overdo it, overcook it, don't they, on the American news? Hey, it can get in your bloodstream. I've never heard anyone say that over here, right?
Yeah, true.
They'll just probably say it's an advisory, if anyone with breathing, don't go outside, is what they probably say. That's about as much you'll get over here.
You can see the tinfoil hat.
He's turned into a doctor.
Well, true, that's what happens, isn't it? Yeah. You can see the tinfoil hat conspiracy people now saying they're telling us to stay inside again. It's lockdown 2.0.
Just go out. We can see what happens.
Put a mask on. I mean, like, if you've got asthma, if your kids have got asthma, things like that, you've got to be very careful there.
Yeah.
It's going to affect people.
When we used to live in the Middle East, we used to get a lot of sandstorms.
Yeah.
And you sort of you see it coming in the distance, you see like a tinge of orange and you think, sandstorm, windows start picking up. Before you know it, mate, your cake's in dust.
Yeah.
It comes at you that fast. And you're like, shit, inside.
Does that mess your eyes up and do you breathe that in and stuff as well?
Breathing everything in your eyes, your hair, it's everywhere. It's inside your house. It's everywhere.
That's how ginger people were created.
That's right, yeah, correct. You all come from the desert.
Yep.
All Arabs.
Work in these conditions. So if you are vulnerable, elderly people, pregnant women, you all should consider maybe staying inside. Rebecca?
Important precautions, Trevor, and we'll have more from our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jen Ashton, in just a moment. But we want to turn now to our chief meteorologist, Ginger, in Georgia. And Ginger, how long do you expect this to last, and where does it head next?
Rebecca, we've been in this stuck pattern now for almost a week or more, the United States in general, but this low pressure system that's bringing in the winds that are bringing that type of smoke all the way south to here in North Georgia by later this afternoon, that is not moving until the weekend. So let me talk you through this. We spoke with NASA scientists who said that the EPA has been tracking this type of air quality from smoke from wildfires since 1999. This will likely rival and probably surpass the worst, which was back in 2002. You saw all those air quality alerts from South Carolina up to New Hampshire and Vermont, but look where the worst of it is this morning, west of Philadelphia into Delaware. Watch the smoke plume as we put the forecast on here, and watch for the deep, dark red and purple colors. That low pressure system swirling counterclockwise, George, going to bring in that orange and red down to Atlanta and even Huntsville by this afternoon, really thick up through the weekend. We're going to clear it out by early next week.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Let's bring in Dr. Jen right now. We heard Trevor there talk about the risk. Break that down.
Yeah, I think the key thing here, George, is that we usually say, if people have underlying respiratory or pulmonary conditions, they're most at risk. While that is true, I want to be clear here. We are all at risk. This is fine particulate matter. You cannot necessarily see it in the air, but you can feel it. And this can come on suddenly, masquerading almost like seasonal allergy symptoms or even an upper respiratory infection. But we know there's a situation. So assume we are all at risk. And obviously, things that you can do, reduce or avoid going outdoors, really, unless it's necessary, because these fine particulate matter particles can get into the eyes and lungs, causing symptoms like burning eyes, runny nose. It can even precipitate bronchitis. And obviously, if you have underlying cardiovascular or respiratory conditions, you are most at risk.
But you're saying everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is a true environmental public health issue.
What other precautions can we take then?
Listen, I think common sense precautions really apply here.
They know how to stretch out a news bit, don't they? Right, I've had enough of that. Right.
You don't like that.
Hey, but It's one of them where, I mean, God knows what's going on in Canada. This is just from an American perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope everyone in Canada's okay. If you're in Canada watching, so let us know if what the deal is.
Well, we do have a lot of viewers in Canada and
you're right.
East Coast of America especially. So, yeah, definitely keep us updated. Stay safe.
Yeah. I mean, when it shows them fires then, it's spread pretty much right across the country.
Yeah.
Right. Insane. I didn't know that. Is Canada known for its wildfires, you know?
Well, they said it is wildfire season, so I presume it happens every year, but maybe not to this degree. You know, because it's vast, isn't it, Canada? I know they were having
country.
They were having wildfires in, I want to say, like northern Finland a couple of years ago. You know, where it goes right up to the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
So it definitely seems to be on the increase.
We had some. Was it last year?
We've already had some dickheads with barbecues on the moors this year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it was, and it's
every year.
That created all kinds of nonsense over here, didn't it?
Yeah. It's more of an ecological thing over here. It doesn't put people at as much risk because there's not as much there to burn.
Correct.
But the local ecology gets absolutely decimated, doesn't it? Just because of some idiot with a disposable barbecue. Every year, though.
We've got a load of them over here. Them people, I mean, not barbecues. We've got loads of them as well.
They're talking about banning disposable barbecues outright because of it.
People dispose them, fucking arseholes.
Well, so, you know, let's go up that hill where everything's dry, have a disposable barbecue, and it's like, and then what do we do with it?
Yeah, they just lob it in the woods.
Can't pick it up, leave it there.
Well, they lob it in the woods, half of them.
Yeah.
Pick it up and chuck it in the woods. And I'm like, crazy, but yeah, keep safe if you're in, especially if you're in Canada and surrounding areas there where the fires are, and stay indoors. Anyway, hope you're all safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.